Now, taking care of business for the next half hour on Yorkshire television, we've another lineup of new wave stand-up comedians. And that means laughs galore.
I got my sex education at primary school playing kiss chase, you know, where the girls run and the boys chase after them and kiss them. I was a romantic. I never used to run. It was like a wind tunnel as all the boys ran straight past. Well, it's because I had imaginary brothers. They told them I'd got the clap.
Sex to sell everything. When they're selling perfume to men, they can't call it perfume, which it is. They have to call it something tough like aftershave. To imply you've just done something really tough like shaving. Oh, very tough. Indiana Jones, look out. The only time shaving would ever be tough is if you were the guy in the Old Spice advert. Shaving at the same time some great oaf is in your bathroom on a surfboard. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Piss off, I'm shaving! It could be dangerous!
Yes, probably surprises some of you out there that I have a boyfriend, because in this bright light I probably look quite intelligent. But no, please, don't be fooled, because that's just a theatrical device that I use, because I do have a boyfriend. Or man-friend, if you prefer that term. He prefers man-friend. I prefer pillock, myself. Each to their own in this world, I always think. Well, my boyfriend, Clive, what can I say? We just row all the time these days. We just don't seem to be able to talk to each other anymore. I don't know why. Well, I do, actually, I do. I think it's basically because I'm talking to him in English and he's listening to me in bollock brain.
I need you like a bully needs the boast. I need you like an ocean needs coast. Okay, the next one's a bit more serious. This one's called I Want You. I want you like my crumpled trousers want to press. I want you like Rumpelstiltskin wanted the princess to guess. I want you like a somnambulist out walking on a cold winter's night, on waking wants to dress. I want you like anything, but you hate my guts. Now that's about a relationship in which I'm the not dominant person, and this is about a relationship which was the other way around. This was in a relationship in which I was seen as a godlike figure. This is called the deep end. You deep end on me.
Nice girls don't swear. I don't swear. Do you know that word that starts with F and rhymes with luck? I never say that. I use an alternative which means the same thing, like I'll say, shag off. Mind your own shagging business, you shagging dickhead. I think that's much more ladylike, don't you?
I was an only child. Thank you. Hey, don't overdo it. I used to eat my meals on my own in the kitchen, while my parents had theirs in the dining room. They believed in the old saying that children should be seen but not heard. This backfired on them quite a lot. I used to go into their bedroom in the middle of the night and turn on the light. Wait till they woke up and saw me and then walk out again without saying anything.
I used to work in a department store in ladies' clothing. I was less conspicuous like that, I suppose. And this rich and famous television personality came in once. I don't know who she was. She tried on everything in the whole department, spent the whole day there. Said she wanted something to bring out her bright blue eyes. I gave her a couple of meat skewers. And I was a secretary once. Well, more than once. I turned up for about a week, I think it was. I didn't like it. My boss was always giving me stupid things to do. Once he was up in a board meeting and he said to me, when the chairman comes in, show him up. So he came in, I shouted, you're wearing a toupee, you're fiddling the company and your fly jar gun.
The trouble with Clive is he's one of these really self-righteous left-wing men. Sort of like Ben Elton, who works for the local government, that sort of thing. You know, he's one of those sort of men who so self-righteous that in the event of a revolution, he's put his name down to do the vegan packed lunches. Whose idea of a night out is to take me to a non-animal vegetarian circus. The sort of place, you know, that's so fashionable now. They don't have animals performing tricks. You just get, for example, instead of a lion tamer, you get a man who places his head in the mouth of a live yoghurt.
As I grew up, I began to think about sex. Problem was, we didn't really have any sex education in school in those days. Well, apart from the fact that we were always told it was a sin to masturbate. I actually used to get around that by stopping halfway through and faking the orgasm. Got a bit pissed off at that after a while. I'll come back to it now. I didn't, no, in fact I did. I met my first girlfriend when I was about 13. I remember after about 3 months, she let me put my hand inside her blouse one night. Rang me up the next morning and told me she was pregnant. I said, don't be silly, you couldn't be. I was wearing gloves.
I was watching the sumo wrestling the other night. I was watching it for 20 minutes before I realised it wasn't the darts.
Of course, wrestling wouldn't exist without wrestling fans, would it? No. Yes, very correct answer there from the... Obviously a wrestling fan. I think if you find the wrestling entertaining, you must be about as intelligent as Lard. Especially Big Daddy fans, who even have their own song. Easy! You know it. Easy! Of course, Big Daddy isn't Big Daddy's real name, is it? No. Big Daddy's real name is Shirley Crabtree. Can't really blame him for changing it then, can you? I'd rather be called James Flower Petal, lovely, gorgeous thing, than Shirley Crabtree.
Anyway, into Clive's house where he decides to do a bit of entertaining. So, cracks open a bottle of his homemade henna wine. Offers me a chickpea on a stick. Starts playing smoochy music. Starts playing the complete works of Simone de Beauvoir. Fool had obviously confused her with that Nina de Beauvoir. You know that catchy little song, dum-dee-dum-dee-dum-dee-dum-dee, my baby's just a famous French philosopher. Anyway, whole thing, under the influence of this, whole thing went wild, we went wild, whole thing ended in sex. Well, what a letdown. It was rubbish. I think somehow you know that sex with a man is going to be bad news when he takes his clothes off and you start mentally dressing him again.
People often say to me, hey you, what are you doing in my garden? Sometimes it's hard to figure out what life is all about, isn't it? Whatever happened to Kajagoogoo?
I was a model once, you know. First I was a model aeroplane, then a model railway. Posing as inanimate objects completely ruined my looks. I used to be gorgeous, and now I have to settle for just being really pretty. Not that it matters. I'm single and I don't see myself getting married. I wouldn't make a very good wife because I'm untidy and frigid. That was a bit difficult recently because I went out with a man who was compulsively tidy. I mean, he tried to help, and in a way he did. He made me realise that it's much nicer to be frigid in neater surroundings.
This one's called She Broke My Heart, and She Broke My Glasses. I was keener on Rowena than I'd ever been on anyone before, and one night she came round, she said she wanted some excitement, then she pulled me to the ground. I took off my glasses, turned the telly down, and started getting down to business. After I'd done the business, I felt fantastic. Like I'd melted in a flame, but Rowena never felt the same. She said she had more excitement when her last gas bill came. Then she kicked my glasses across the room, damaged one of the little windows, and twisted the frame. Up. Oh, Rowena. Oh, whoa, whoa, Rowena. She said I was dead below the belt. And above the belt. And as I felt around for my glasses, you don't know how I felt. Around for my glasses. She said I had done the business like I was the only one there. She said I was totally unaware of what she wanted and that all I wanted was someone who just wanted to lie there. And I said, look what you've done to my glasses.
Hello again. You know, this Harris Hawk is one of the world's most avid meat eaters. Wonder what he'll make of a few meat-flavoured snacks. Ignored the beef flavour. Turned his beak up at the smoky bacon. Yes, as I thought, he settled for Peperami, made from 100% tangy meat. So when it comes to real meat taste, birds of prey everywhere agree. Peperami is the snack they've been praying for. Sorry. Get your teeth into a Peperami.
If you're sat around at home, make new friends on the telephone. 0898 440044. Track that.
Well, couldn't let anything come between me and my Kaliber.
I don't know. It's not just men I don't understand. There's Japanese. I started to learn it. I think it's important to read great literature in its original language, like how to change the cartridge on my stereo. Got interested in Japanese things for a while. I did martial arts. Huh. It's ever so polite. This black belt hurled me across the room into a wall, and straight away I had to bow and say, thank you. I did quite a few evening classes, really, mainly to meet people. I did mime. Nobody spoke to me. I still like watching mime, though, especially Top of the Pops on a Thursday. And then I did German evening classes. Long way to go, but it seemed worth it at the time. Then I did this voice class to make my voice stronger. The teacher gave me a few tips. She told me to speak from my diaphragm. I'd left mine at home in a little plastic case. I did have a coil, but I kept picking up cab drivers.
Wrestlers, I don't think I'm giving anything away when I say big fat bastards. Fat bastards that couldn't even make the weight for darts. Of course, all that Western wrestling's rubbish. Not like Japanese sumo wrestling. They really are big fat bastards. Sumo wrestlers, very well respected in Japan. The average sumo wrestling bout lasts for, 7 seconds? They work for 7 seconds a month and they're very well respected. Get me to Japan immediately. More fried egg sandwiches? Thanks very much. That'll be delicious. Yes, chips? Oh, yes, please. A Big Mac? Yes, please. A flake? Yeah, all right, I'll have it.
This is my diary. Saturday. Arsenal are playing at home today. Went to buy paper. Lost a leg. Shouldn't have worn my I Love Spurs poncho. Sat night. Went to fancy dress party dressed as Jeremy Beadle. Lost other leg.
I shouldn't go on like this, because he's all right. But he does ask for this sort of flack. I mean, I caught him the other night, under the duvet, in the dark, reading a very dodgy book. He was right. I wrestled it away from him. I said, show me what you're reading, Clive. Didn't want to show me, but I wrestled it from him. He was reading this. You won't believe it. You might not be able to see it, but it's called 4 Men Against Sexism. 4 Men Against Sexism. Well, I thought, is that the number? There's 4 men somewhere against sexism? Every year around this time of year, they meet and have dinner. Lonely business. But really, men against sexism is about as convincing as turkey farmers against Christmas, isn't it? Turkey farmers against Christmas, yes. But I thought, no, don't be reactionary, Linda. Have a little look through it. So I did. There's some great stuff in here. Chapter 1, consciousness raising for men. I said, well, forget that, Clive. Forget that. You don't need a book to raise your consciousness. You need a bloody seance. It's a job for Doris Stokes, that one. Chapter 2, refusing to be a man. Well, what does that mean? What does that mean? He wakes up one morning and he thinks, no. No, I won't. Not today. Not today, I'll be something else. I'll be an antelope. Leave me alone. Chapter 3, love-making with myself. Well, he's very good at that. Credit where it's due. But the best chapter in this book has to be the chapter called The Socialised Penis. The socialised penis. Well, what's that then? What's the socialised penis? Does it go out to dinner parties on its own? Where does the socialised penis hang out? Student union socials, in my experience.
Okay, this is about another relationship. This one's called Darling, I'm Your Doggy. I can understand every word you say, and when you go away, I can't understand at all, and any time you call me, I'll come. Now, that was written 2 weeks into a relationship. This next poem was written 2 years into the same relationship. This one's called I Am Going. There is not a rumour of humour in the tumour of our life. I am stifled, but I am going to survive. You would do anything for me except go. It is me and not you who makes you feel alive. I am going. I'll be back about 5.
Sometimes when I come to England, people ask me about the Loch Ness Monster. They say, Is there really an eerie, repulsive creature who festers in the murky, gloomy depths in the swamplands of the north of Scotland? I tell them there is. And to prove it, I show them nude photographs of Malcolm Rifkin. You're probably wondering where I got pictures like that of Malcolm Rifkin. He sent me them.
Was having downstairs problems. Decided to see local GP for checkup. Got medical dictionary and looked up correct word for offending part. Discovered that offending part was correct word. Arrived at surgery. First task, get past receptionist, Mrs. Berlin Vall. Excuse me, I'm here to see Dr. Cooper. Can't you see I'm busy? She snapped, and then drop-kicked a screaming baby through plate glass window. Discovered Dr. Cooper was extremely old. He was an expert on scurvy and bubonic plague. Was thrilled, stroke delighted when he gave me some leeches and a sick note to get me out of fighting the Spanish Armada.
I shouldn't really tell you this, but I have a very large varicose vein running down the inside of my right leg. I went to my doctor about it. She sort of felt around it with her fingers for a while and said, nothing to worry about, just an ordinary varicose vein. I said, oh, to hell with the varicose vein. Can't you see I love you? She said, take me now, big boy, while I'm still hot all over. So anyway, that's my sexual fantasy.